Hi everyone, today's video is going to be an update on my Project 10 uses. So, if you don't know, if you're new here, I pull out 10 products, I use them 10 times. Once I use them 10 times, I get rid of them. Sometimes I declutter them before I've used them 10 times because I realize at this point I no longer love them. So, this week, or this update, this month I guess, we actually have 4 products leaving, so I'm really excited by that. So let's go ahead and talk about them. The first product leaving is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette, and I have used this 10 times. This took me a pretty long time to get my 10 uses on, not because I don't love it, because I do. I love it so much. Just because it's so summery to me, and I've been trying to, I haven't really been like drawn to summer colors, especially in the winter. I was more drawn to like wintry colors. It's still winter, it's January, what am I saying? But you know what I mean? But I love this. These shimmers, especially these two, are so unique in my collection. Absolutely stunning. This hot pink, I love it. These mattes blend out so nicely. The shimmers are impactful. I've used this 10 times. I have zero doubt in my mind that I want to keep this in my collection. I don't know, probably for the rest of my life. That might be a little dramatic, but for a while. No, it's not a plain blue mug. It's a mug from the Toledo Zoo, and inside there's polar bears and coffee and polar bears. Because the Toledo Zoo has a polar bear and they had a baby named Bo. If you don't know, we live about 20 minutes from the Toledo Zoo, and that's actually where we got engaged. So it's a very special place for John and I. All right, so Riviera palette. I have my little list of all of the products and how many times I use them. I'm gonna mark off Riviera. We're finished with it. The next product that we're over is the Kat Von D Pastel Goth. Now I only use this 5 times, so you know what that means. I'll give you a little hint. The next 3 items we're getting rid of. So this palette, I remember when it came out, I was really excited. I used to buy pretty much everything Kat Von D as far as eyeshadow palette was because I just thought it was so good. And some of these shades are really good. Here's my issue. I got 2. Almost all of them show up a lot darker on the lids. So like if I want like a really pretty light pinky purple, one of these 2 shades, it shows up really dark, and I don't want that. That might not be what I'm looking for that day. Also, they don't blend as well as I would like. You know, I have other products that blend so much better. Do y'all hear my wind chimes? We have a family friend, the kindest people. They have 8 children, and the oldest one made us wind chimes for our wedding, and they have a little Mickey on them. They make me very, very happy. Sorry. But yeah, so they're just not as, I've got other things that are better. And I don't know, like part of me, when I'm trying to decide if I want to keep something or not, part of me does have this moment where I'm like, but what if I don't have another like of this orange shade? And it's like, okay, that's possible. But I'm pretty good at realizing what I am missing. And I'm good at it because I'll go to reach for one and I don't have it. So for example, recently I've realized I don't have a good matte red, like a true red. I've got some like orangey red, but I don't have like a true red. And I would really like one of those. I would really like a matte red eyeshadow. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. And I will look into it, especially if you have an indie brand suggestion. Because right now, I'm going to just be completely honest with y'all, I'm really tempted by buying the Natasha Denona Love Palette. Because it's got a true red, and it's got like pinky purple colors, and you know those are my colors. Those are my favorite eyeshadows to wear. So I'm really tempted by that. But I'd like to buy a single from an indie brand instead. I really would. So yeah, I'll just do that. You know, I don't need to keep this whole palette that I don't love just in case I decide I want to use one shadow at some point in the future. No. So that is gonna go. I have a friend who loves colorful makeup. She does darker makeup than me, but she likes a lot of color, and so I'm gonna give that to her. And I'll just go ahead and let y'all know, the next one shocks me, truly. Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm shocked. I used this 7 times. It's just too dark for me. It really is. It's a very dark palette. It's a very unique assortment of shades. The shades blend really nicely. Most of them perform really nicely. It's not a quality thing. it's just really dark. And I found that the shades that were really colorful that I wanted to be like, pow, were more like, meh. Like they weren't as vibrant and impactful as I wanted. And I debated this one. This one I went back and forth on for a really long time. But here's the thing. Like, if I consider how I feel about this versus how I feel about the Riviera palette, I love the Riviera palette. I want to use it every day. This, I kind of forced myself into using, and I was kind of dreading it. So, it's a no. I know I don't need this. I know I won't miss it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away and give it to that same friend. Which was, like, shocking to me. Also, I would be lying. You know, I try to be completely transparent here. I do have this rule where all of my makeup has to lay flat. And it's got to be on one level. And so if I can't bring anything in, if it messes that up, and if I bring something in, that means I have to get rid of it. That makes sense. I feel like that was a lot, but I think you can follow me. I believe in you. This is huge. This takes up a lot of space. Do I want it, and do I like it enough for all the space it takes up? No. So it's okay. It's okay. I don't know. I feel very weird about that decision. I think I'm just really shocked at myself for making it. I'm marking it off the list, though. We're done. And I used it 7 times. So you can tell I was really, like, debating. This one I've only used twice, but I'm confident. This is the Geek Chic Cosmetics Kingslayer pigment. Let me just swatch it for you because swatched, it's stunning. It's a very light shade. I have another friend who's, like, into makeup, but she wears neutrals every day. And I think she's gonna love this palette, this shade. It's really pretty. It's very, very sparkly. It's like a light gold. So I like it a lot. And applied, it does a very nice job. Here's the thing. I've got a lot of other shades like this, so I'm not gonna reach for a loose pigment when I can reach for something else. Also, and I find this with a lot of my Geek Chic pigments, when you first apply it, it is spectacular. Throughout the day, it loses a lot of its shimmer. And for my friend who doesn't love like a super shimmery, obnoxious look, that works. But for me who does, I want more and more and more and more and more glitter. This isn't my style. So I'm gonna give that to her. So look at, like, we're getting rid of these 3 things. I don't know, I'm pretty proud of that. Honestly, I am. Because I know that what I have left will get more use, and I know I like it. I'm confident about that. And then this palette has gotten so much more use already, and I love it. And I know that I can use it more because these 3 items aren't like taking up space and taking up brain space and making me feel like, well, I haven't used this in a while, I should probably grab for it. I'm feeling good about it. So let's talk about the 6 items we have remaining, and then I'll show you the 4 new things we're bringing in, all right? Seems to make sense to me. This item I've used 8 times. I have it on today. Urban Decay Electric Palette. Again, when I use this, I get excited. I love what I come up with. And I know that I love this a lot more than the Kat Von D Pastel Goth or that Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean. So this is another thing that really just further solidified. This makes me excited to use. This, I come up with looks I wouldn't otherwise. This, I just like it. So I used these 2 shades today. So this shade pulls a lot pinker than it looks in the pan. It's the shade Jilted. I've got that in my crease. And then I've got Urban in my outer corner. And I love this look. This is like a very typical me look though. Like if you follow me, you know that. Like these are my colors. So yeah, I'm excited to keep this and use it some more. I've used it 8 times. So I need to use it 2 more times in my collection. Let me just scoot, sorry, I had to scoot the Riviera palette over so I didn't mess up my piles. I do need to use it 2 more times to get it out of this project. And it's taken me a while to do that, but I know I like it. And I'm confident that after I use it 2 more times, it will stay in my collection, at least for the next little while. You know, just because I decide it's first pass it's going to stay doesn't mean it has to stay forever. Eventually things will go bad. Eventually my taste will change. When I got this Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean palette, I felt like it was everything. And now it's just not to my taste. And again, I thought about keeping it. I'm like, what if my tastes change? Well, this is already like 4 years old. And if my tastes change in a year or two, it's not going to be worth, I'll just get something new. It's not going to be worth having. I don't want to keep things around just in case. I don't. I've been in that mindset before, and I just don't think it's a healthy mindset, because what ends up doing is you use things that you don't want. Okay, next. Another thing that I really like, but it's taken me a while to get my 10 uses. This is the Lise Watier liquid liner in the shade Opal. Really glittery, really pretty. I have had to take out the stopper to get some, because we're running kind of low. I do feel like this is going to end up being used up / dried out relatively soon. There's, you know, when I go in, I have to go in quite a few times to get a single look. But when I use it, I love it. It's so pretty. It definitely is not like anything else I have in my collection, so I'm happy to keep this around for a while. I've used it 6 times. I don't know if I said that, but I have. Next, we have MAC Shine, a MAC Dazzle Shadow. And again, in the shade Shine. Here we are. Look at how used that looks. That makes me happy, because when I brought it in, I don't think I'd ever used it. I have it on today. I have it on today with a glitter glue, the NYX glitter glue, and I just love it. It's so sparkly. It's a very, very light purple, but it doesn't show up. I'm trying to decide how to say this. It's still, you get that base color of purple. It doesn't look white or anything. It is definitely light purple, a little pinky, but that's fine with me. I love this shade. Again, it's special. It's not like this Geek Chic Pigment. It's special, but when it's on the lids and everything, I don't have to have it. This, I don't have anything like it. I love to reach for it. Every time I use it, it makes me happy. And even if I don't reach for it every single day, I know that when I do, I get excited to use it. So that's worth keeping. It's kind of how I feel about the Lise Watier. I don't want to wear a white glitter liner every day, but when I use it, I've got a good one, you know? Okay. I've used that 7 times. I don't know if I said that. Next, we're going to bring in these. So those 3 items have been in for a while. The next 3 I brought in last time. So we're doing a pretty good job of getting these out. First, we have this Covergirl Bombshell Shine Shadow. This is a liquid shadow. It still works really well. I use it as a base. I actually have it on today as a base. It's very shiny. I could, if I was like a more simple person, I could just smudge this all over the eye and go. You can over blend this though. Like if you keep blending and blending, it'll go away. So that is something to note. I have 2 shades of this, and I really like it. I'm glad I put this in this project because I was thinking about getting rid of them, but I'm still really enjoying it. I've used that 4 times, if I didn't say. This NARS Duo in Kawaii, I've used once, and I've only used this purple shade, and it was very pretty. It looked great. I haven't used this green shade yet. This is a really, so I got this because I felt like it was shades I don't have, and I stand by that. Well, at least this green, this purple I've got. I stand by that, but like it's weird to use together to me. Like unless I'm doing like a Mardi Gras look, which like not necessarily what I'm going for. I don't know. I just don't feel like I use these 2 colors together. But I need to play with it more. And like I said, I've used it once. And the last item I have used twice, and it's the Stila Shimmer and Glow in the shade Kitten. So this doesn't have any glitter. It's just a very shiny liquid shadow. And it is very shiny and it's very impactful, and I really like it. The only thing I will say is it does look a little thick when applied, and maybe that's more than likely a user error as opposed to a product error, if we're just being honest. This is drying out though. A lot of my Stila glitter and glows and things are drying out because I went pretty hard on them in 2017. Is that correct? Yeah, I think that's right. And I bought a bunch. And yeah, I have a bunch. There you go. I mean, you know, I have 10 glitter and glows, but I've had to slowly declutter some because they've dried out or they're pretty much used up. And I have 3 shimmer and glows, and they're on their way out too. So I'm gonna use them while I can and enjoy them while I can. And once it's time to go, I'll have to say, I miss you, but it's time. And I talked about this, actually, I think in my most recent empties. I don't remember because I had one in there. I love glitter. And when I got them, I was like, well, I love these and I want to wear them, but I can't wear them every day. But why not? I don't have a job where somebody's going to be like, Becky, you can't have glitter all over your eyes. I can do whatever I want. I can wear whatever. I'm wearing a sequin tutu to work today. This is literally what we got going on. So I can wear whatever I want. And you know, I had this idea that like, as a beauty YouTuber, I have to change up my look. And like, yeah, of course you don't want to see like, oh, there's Becky, she's wearing the exact same thing she wore the past 6.5 weeks. I understand that. But if I want to wear it, I can wear it. Like, it's fine. So, again, I think that's become, like, it's part of my journey of, like, accepting, like, this is what I want to wear, and it's okay. I don't have to change up my look every single day because I don't know, because I feel like I'm supposed to. It's fine. So, that's kind of helped me, too. But Stila glitters, I still love them. Big fan. So, those are all of the products I have. That I've already started working on, and now I'm going to show you the 4 new products. These are all products I'm really excited to try. So first, we have the Eyeko Fat Eye Stick. I've got 3 of these. I used to love them. Recently, like in the past year, I've used them occasionally, and I'm not sure they work very well anymore. I pulled out the shade Satin, I believe. Yeah. Because it's just kind of like a gray, and I feel like it's the most neutral, so I can really see if they still work. I think they don't, and I can't really fault them because I got these, I want to say, in undergrad. And I graduated undergrad in 2015. So, you know, we'll see. So this I'm kind of bringing in to determine if I still like it. Very similar to how I brought in this Covergirl Shine Shadow. I love this. Do I love this? I don't know. Then, I've got 3 eyeshadow palettes for you. One used to be one of my favorites. It's the Urban Decay Urban Spectrum. Look at the shades. Like, obviously, you know I love this. But the last time I tried to use it, which was like 6 months ago, I know, disgusting, but again, that's why we're doing this. We're getting better. I felt like a lot of the shadows had kind of gone bad. And that's not their fault. I bought this, I want to say, in 2016. So if they've gone bad, well, they've gone bad. So I need to see if they have, or if they're still good. And if they are still good, I need to love on it. Because though I say I love this palette, most of these shades look brand new, don't they? Let's be honest, they do. So I want to play with this some more, see if it's still good, and if I should keep it. Next, this is just because I am a seasonal gal, and you know I love to decorate for different seasons. Our mantle is decorated for Valentine's Day. I don't have a lot of Valentine's Day stuff. Pretty much it's just decorated like in the theme of our wedding. This is our wedding wall. I've posted a picture on Instagram so you can see it better. But this castle that you see in the background, that was our guest book. So we have our guests, which we had 18 guests. Well, we had 16 guests, and John and I also attended our wedding. That's where people signed. This is a print of The Whole New World. That's our first dance song. This, you can't read it, but it looks like a Disney World name tag, like that the cast members wear, and it says the Mackays on it. That's my new last name. And then this says Tybee Island, and that's where we got married. So it's my little wedding wall, and it makes me really happy because, you know, I'm married now also. You want to see something old school? Oh, Hippo's laying on him. So, and it's dark. There is a pillow right there, and it's Mackay tartan because we had a Scottish wedding. I've gotten some pictures on Instagram. If you want to see stuff, you can look there. And so we have one on either end, and they're wedding pillows. And they say Becky and John on them, but Hippo's laying on them right now, and that's okay. He's allowed. He looks so cute, though, doesn't he? Got the cutest dogs. But because I'm this basic woman, I wanted a Valentine's Day palette. I wanted it. So this, like, if this doesn't reek of Valentine's Day, I don't know what does. And also, I mean, look at it. How well used does that look? Not very at all. I bought this because Too Faced used to do like 30% off, 25% off, something like that around Christmas. And it was like 25% off? Well, I should spend $400 then. What a great deal. Absurd. I've gotten better. I know that. I'm confident in that, but that's when I bought this. So let's see if it's, if I like it. I don't know. And then this palette is my Most Used palette. It's also Valentine's-y. Lorac Beauty and the Beast. If you've been around for a while, you know this was my Pan That palette. And I did hit pan in every single shade, and I used up one shade, Enchanting. I think I can use this shade up. It's got nothing in less than 10 uses. And then I want to just like really analyze this. Do I really need to keep it? I feel very accomplished when I look at it, but do I need to keep it? Again, just like that Lorac palette, it takes up a lot of space. Do I really want this to take up space in my collection when I know I am really interested in buying a couple of new things that would be new? I'm not saying I'm going to buy like 57,000 palettes again. No, don't worry. But, you know, refreshing my collection with a few new things like that red matte shadow I've already discussed. So yeah, do I want this? Do I still want this? Is it still good? Do I still create looks that I'm happy with? I don't know. So we're gonna see, because I hit pan and everything in 2019 and I haven't used it since, honestly. And that's kind of gross, isn't it? And that's it. All right, so 4 things moving out. We're gonna keep one of them. I'm gonna love it. And we're gonna get rid of 3, and that's cool. That's cool. I'm not upset about getting rid of these 3 things because I know other people will get use out of them. And just so we're clear, when I give makeup to my friends, I try to be really explicit. Like, if you don't want this, if you don't want to use it, just throw it out. But I try to give it to them first in case they do want to use it, you know? But I have got to go to work now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the progress we've made. And I just can't recommend this highly enough. I'm having so much fun. I'm really, really loving makeup again. And I had gotten to the point where I wasn't. So I'm excited by that. And I realized that, like, I use these items, you know, they sit on top of my vanity, and I definitely use them. But I've just found myself, like, digging into my collection so much more and being like, this isn't one of my Project 10 Uses items, but I just want to play with it today. And that's good. And I let myself, you know, it's like free reign, do what you want. But I'm just having so much fun with makeup. And it also is a good reminder that, like, I've got so much and I can still create things I love, so I don't have to continually buy more and more. So if you're kind of at a stasis where you're not enjoying makeup, take a step back, figure it out. I don't know, for me, and you know, everybody's different, it's working really well and I'm having fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, or comments, leave them down below, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye.